We appreciate you having me in tonight. I think we just wanted to give you a little bit more of an in-person update in terms of progress, where we are, where we're going, time frames for certain things. I understand that, you see activity happening in your building department and the site and the planning board with forthcoming site plan applications from the HOCC, all a component of the campus. But I wanted to tell you what we've been doing, where we are, activity that's going on, where our focus has been, and I think sort of next steps for us, as well as where we think things are timing-wise with respect to the municipality in terms of actions and presentations and things of that nature. So I think the first thing to alert you of is we've ditched the name Roche. They took it with them, the name, and we spent some time with branding and marketing to come up with a new name for the campus, which is now going to be known simply as On3. So you can hopefully work on 3, invent on 3, create on 3. Maybe one day you'll live on 3. Maybe you'll shop on 3. We'll see how those discussions go in the future with respect to the overall redevelopment plan and the components to be included in that. But the first step, if you've been driving down, if you're on eastbound on Route 3, you'll see the billboard that the property has an On3 logo up there and a phone number and sort of just coming soon. So you'll start seeing that take shape. I think part of the element and the branding and the image that's coming along with the campus is to begin to educate not just the public, but in particularly our user environment for corporations and tenants and the like, about what to expect this campus to become. And I think part of the On3 story begins to talk about this, right? So we're talking about urban vitality and suburban flexibility meeting, right? A new way of doing business, a new place to do business, sort of the new millennial of what's happening with corporations and their employees and their desire to kind of house themselves in 24/7 sort of multi-discipline, multi-use campuses, right? As opposed to sort of the insular Far West, big single office building hidden behind gates, right? The goal of today's CEO is to be more energized, right? To have a lot more energy around them, to have a lot more options around them, a lot more services and amenities. And quite frankly, we see the shift happening. You see it happening population-wise. The 5 western counties of New Jersey have lost population over the last 6 years, and the 5 easternmost counties, Bergen, Hudson, Passaic, Essex, have gained, right? So that reversed a trend that went on opposite that for over 25 years in New Jersey. So it's not just a developer's wishful thinking that this is a change in the guard. There really is a fundamental change occurring in our society today with respect to where people want to live, where they want to work, and the things that they want around them, in proximity to city centers and more densely populated urban areas where there's good access to highway and public transportation and amenities and services. That's bringing people more this direction. And it's not just simply people aged 21 to 31. The millennials, right? It's not just that group. We see it happening in the 55 and over crowd as well, right? That crowd in particular is saying, look, I don't want to give up my history, what I've established, and my lifestyle, right? But I want to stick around, but I still want to be more active, and I just don't necessarily, maybe I want to change in my type of housing today, right? But we see that happening across the board, across all demographics. So this is just a little teaser sort of that we have out here that we're starting to develop, and we've been developing to talk about some of the items that make this campus unique. We've been able to establish a really tremendous life science ecosystem on this campus, right? Thanks to the Hackensack Seton Hall commitment to the med school, the Allied Health and Nursing School, and the NIH clinical research center that Hackensack is populating there. One of the things to tell you is that Eddie, how are you?
Hi, June. I texted you, I emailed you, I'm alone on the first floor, I'm going through everything. Hi.
Found you.
Found us. We got it.
Yes.
Welcome to the meeting.
All your hard questions go to him. So this life science ecosystem and what it's about, there's a couple of things going on here. I'm going to be accompanying the New Jersey delegation in 2 weeks to San Diego for Bio International, which is a meeting in, essentially of over 1,500 biopharma companies that get together annually. We have a booth. We're going to be, hawking the wares of this campus and what we have to offer. And it's not as if that's the first time word's gone out. I'm going to tell you this off the bat. So we've had a visit from a company domiciled in India, a large pharmaceutical company that's looking to make New Jersey its headquarters operation for its U.S. offices. They've made a recent acquisition, and they're considering the campus for consolidation of the headquarters space for their business. We've reached a company based in the UK and in Hamburg that has a small office here in New Jersey already, and 5 other offices around the country, and they are looking at consideration of a ecosystem, life science ecosystem, to consolidate all of those operations, and the On3 campus is in the running for that. We don't intend to make this or market this exclusively as life sciences. Some of the infrastructure that's there is very beneficial to those types of groups. Right, the cogeneration plant, the redundancy in heating and cooling, and our redundant electric and backup power, that type of infrastructure. But it has a base, and that base is already expanding. To give you update on activity as we walk through this, we're in advanced lease negotiations with 2 tenants, one of which is an expansion by Hackensack, not the Seton Hall component, just the Hackensack Meridian component, to lease the top 2 floors of Building 102. With an additional NIH, National Institute of Health, funded group that they're going to relocate up out of Washington, D.C. and consolidate with existing offices that they have working up in their oncology center, the John Theuer Cancer Center in Hackensack already. And we have another company that they would hope to occupy by Jan 1. Right. We have another company leasing the bottom 2.5 floors of the building. We're yesterday in the sequestered room for 7 hours negotiating their lease out. They've submitted their application to the EDA. They hope to be heard on July 12th. 15 days after that, the 27th of July, assuming the governor doesn't exercise a veto right for a Grow New Jersey grant, which I don't think has ever been done yet. They anticipate on moving in August 1. We've already submitted a CCO application to Pat Intendahl and his group to ready the building for their occupancy. That's a very unique tenant. They're in business known as, I'm not going to tell you their name at this point in time, but their business is biofabrication. You say, what is biofabrication? Well, essentially, it's using biology and chemistry to make textiles and fabrics. So it's quite an interesting avenue, and great to see that kind of technology. They have made a mega project application. They are 60 people today in their current location in New York. They're going to be relocating all those out, and in 3 years, they're pledging to the state in their application they will grow to 251 employees. Significant number of those are PhDs involved in their process business. There also is a growth component to that entity, which would have us build them what they're calling a demo process plant, and we're currently planning that out where that would be on the campus, and right now they would like to, quite frankly, if we can arrange it and we can work it out through our planning and the master plan documents from a zoning perspective, they'd like to attach it to Building 102, sort of as an extension, and put it entirely in Nutley at this point in time. That would be a 30 to 40,000 foot building, which is going to have over a $15 million capital infusion into it to design it and build the systems in place that they can continue to expand their business. So this creates a tremendous life science ecosystem. And we have on the other side of the town, your other township over there in Clifton, we have some other potential life sciences buildings looking over there happening on their side on some larger parcels of land where we can amass something like that. So we think this is all good. We think this is all getting the kind of treatment and excitement